Hello everyone, welcome back to another F1 22 Aston Martin Road to Glory episode number 2, and this is qualifying in Jeddah. Now we need to get the power down to try and get a good run down to the start finish line, and we are on the first flying lap of qualifying and of just Q1 alone. It's not going to be the best couple turns into that first chicane. Gonna just go a bit wide on it. Hopefully I can get a bit better as the lap goes on, but going a bit wide there as well. It's not really going to help us at this point. Ooh, cutting the corner a lot there. I mean, that might have saved us a huge chunk of time, but not a very legal chunk of time, realistically, so hopefully that doesn't come back to hurt us. But coming down this time, coming into the chicane there, coming into a fast left-hander, into a fast right-hander in the DRS now, so bumping with the wall there. Luckily no damage. Fernando Alonso setting fastest. Just losing concentration there, going well wide. It's not going to help us in our run. Coming into the final corner, the final hairpin right at the bottom of this track. Hopefully we get a decent enough exit. It's a 133.3 from Charles Leclerc as we come across the line. A 135. So it's definitely not as fast as the top runners, but well, I wouldn't expect to be going as fast as Charles Leclerc. So we are definitely going to have to go again, and I might go out now onto a flyer. Hopefully we can gain some time there, but at the moment it's looking as though it will be roughly 6/10 gains, and that is quite a bit. 6/10 moves us up just behind Sebastian Vettel. So it's not as much as I would have liked, but could have been worse. Hopefully Magnussen and Tsunoda don't put in a great second run. Just about don't make it through, but it's pretty strong considering there's an AlphaTauri and the two Williams are behind us. So as you can see, constructor-wise, AlphaTauri, Haas and Williams are all behind us because of me scoring that 1 point in Bahrain. But let's go to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
So here we are then, welcoming you today to one of the jewels of the Arab world, Jeddah. One of the biggest cities in Saudi Arabia, second only to Riyadh, gateway to Mecca, and one of the biggest ports in the region. And now, host to the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, and Esteban Ocon, Joe, Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Mick Schumacher, Gasly, Vettel, Murphy, and Yuki Tsunoda. Albon and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Well, don't really know what happened with the graphics on screen there. The screen just went grey for a bit, and now the screen is really delayed compared to the commentators. But here we go, yes. Finally in the car.
The points finished last race. Let's aim to keep that momentum going.
The soft to the mediums, probably. Yeah. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Fuel. We have to do 13 laps. Let's go to 14.8. Just try it. And, well, let's get ready for this race. Why don't we? Formation lap takes place. We are nearer the back of the grid than the front of it, but quite a good qualifying, to be fair, from me. It's not a terrible position, just behind my teammate.
Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap, please.
Hopefully no incidents on turn one today, and maybe trying to jump the German, Sebastian Vettel, but the most important thing, don't get jumped by Yuki Tsunoda, or, well, anyone at least, for that matter. Maybe try and get a bit of an angle on the start. Oh, I failed to park. Not great, but it's coming to 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. It's not the best start. Yuki Tsunoda getting a much better start than us. Being jumped by pretty much 2 cars there. Gonna have to break, bit of contact with Pierre Gasly. Gonna try and go around the outside, coming to the inside, but we get ahead of our teammate. Oh, we've been spun by Sebastian Vettel. Let's watch that replay, shall we not? Because I believe it may have been my fault, but just checking. Oh no, it wasn't even Sebastian Vettel. It was Yuki Tsunoda being squeezed in. And he just... Yeah, well, I don't think it's really my fault, but I don't think it's Tsunoda's either. A lot of contact there again, but we really do have a damaged front wing, and that is not going to help us in this race. Really struggling to turn the corners here. This is not great. Really not great, as we may have to pit early. Oh, I'm not liking that. I'm gonna have to pit lap 1. Again, terrible start to this Grand Prix. Oh god. I might go on to the hards for the rest of the race now though. Whoa. Just not paying attention. Probably shouldn't be checking the MFD, but we have really slowed these 2 Williams cars down a lot. Need to try and catch up to Yuki Tsunoda and Sebastian Vettel by the time we get into the pits, but that doesn't look like it's going to be happening, as we are coming into the pits right now, and not a good start to this race whatsoever. Not a good start. Oh, dearie, dearie me, we're going to have a lot of catching up to do. But hopefully we can try and do it. Getting into the pits, it's going to be a long pit stop as well. Obviously having to change the front wing. But we are off a 7.7.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Yes, but I'm not happy with where I am.
On the exit, we'll receive a penalty for dangerous
So
driving.
I'm gonna try not to pit. I'm gonna try not to pit anymore. Get these hards up to temperature a bit. Try and weave around slightly on them. Because the hards do come out very, very cold. I just have to pay attention so much to not hitting the wall, running wide slightly there. Well, a bit more than slightly, but 22 seconds down roughly on the rest of the cars. Well, on Albon at least. But when they pit, we might catch up slightly. We might be within range if we don't have to pit. And hopefully we can have some good pace on these hards. Because if we start on the hards should hopefully last this entire race, with it only being 13 laps. That was not good. Not a good corner. Excuse me. But yeah, not much going well for us at the moment. We did well in qualifying, but that was about it in the end. Hopefully we can try and catch up to Nicholas Latifi when he has to pit off of those softs, because, well, we'll see when people start to pit, but hopefully we can try and, well, yeah, thanks Race Control for enabling DRS now. Oh, that's poor. Haven't done that very well. Wasn't terrible though. Ooh, accidentally just hit the microphone wire, so it probably wasn't too loud, but still not the best. But yeah, having to pit then wasn't my ideal. What I was going to try and do. Bit of contact with the wall again, but not as much as on lap 1. On to lap 3 now. 10 laps to go. And they will have to pit eventually, and hopefully the pace on those softs and that medium from Alex Albon is not good. It's not looking to be bad at the moment because I haven't really caught them, but the good thing is they haven't really gotten away from me, so I'm not sure what to think yet. They've remained with the 22 seconds, so some fighting going on between Vettel and Yuki Tsunoda, I believe that was. But yeah, those two Williams are extremely far back from the rest of the pack, so they will just be trying to pull each other along and hope for the best, and that's probably exactly what Albon's trying to do. Oh no, Albon's gone for the move on Latifi, but Latifi gets it back. They're still fighting actually, Albon and Latifi. Albon may have secured it this time round, but it might not stay that way for too long. Hopefully they just keep fighting though. Hopefully everyone keeps fighting for my sake. Yeah, the midfield is so bunched up compared to everyone else. There's the front runners, the in-betweens, and then the midfield, and then the back runners. The back markers are so much further behind than anyone else, and that lone back marker, the lone very back marker is me in the Aston Martin, but hopefully trying to change that as I've made my pit, and it was a bit of a long one, so we lost time in the pits to what they will, but hopefully somebody gets a bit of damage. That's all I'm saying. Nothing catastrophic, but again, not a good start to this race. If you've been watching my team, it's been similar to this in the first few races. The one that's, well, I don't think it's live yet, but I have recorded it. Not going to leave any spoilers.
Stopping now.
What was that? Oh, they're all in the pits. We. Oh no, they're not in the pits anymore. They're gone. Oh wait, no. Oh, the people that were in the pits were a lot further ahead than where Albon and that were. So Latifi's got an extra lap on his softs compared to everyone else, and hopefully the pace on the mediums is just not good for my sake. Obviously, again, with Albon on those mediums, and hopefully my pace on the hards is good. But it doesn't look like it's terrible, as we're 13, 14, 15 seconds behind the people that have come into pit. But they were obviously a lot further ahead than Latifi and Albon. So hopefully that means that I can do some catching up to Latifi and Albon. And hopefully Latifi's tyres are wearing away, him staying out for an extra lap. Hopefully that does not benefit him in any way. It shouldn't. I apologise for the barking as well. I'm really sorry. It's just so loud. Can't really do much about a dog. Can maybe try shut the window if we get onto a straight. If we get onto an actual straight, maybe. It's a bit curly, so I might just pause it and go. And obviously Jeddah coming up in real life as of recording. Probably by the time this goes live it might have already happened, or it still might not have happened yet, but at the time of recording Jeddah is coming up in a few days. Be sure to watch that if you can, because it's a street circuit. Oh, you might get stuff like that happening. Bumping the walls, maybe a few safety cars. It might be an interesting one at Jeddah. Ferrari have had a nightmare with Charles Leclerc having a grid penalty. Sebastian Vettel's coming to the pits now.
In for his stop.
Wait.
Coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now, running medium tyres.
Yeah, and we're on the hards, trying to catch up to him. But Snowden and Vettel coming out the pits ahead. Probably not too far ahead though, but Albon is quite far up the field from what he normally is. Well, obviously not in real life, but he's bumped his way up by starting on the mediums. But yeah, Latifi is in sight. The Canadian. Really still there. That's not going to do us any favours. Oh, not taking these corners too well. Managed to somehow get back to the racing line. Not getting that apex too well. But yeah, Latifi and Tsunoda, well, especially Latifi, they aren't too far away. Like, they're not out of reach. Latifi only roughly 2 seconds up the road, is definitely not too far away for us. Hopefully his pace on the mediums is shocking, realistically. Because if it's bad, then it might give us a bit of chance to catch up. But lap 7, roughly halfway through, just over halfway through this Grand Prix, and it wasn't the best of starts, but we've tried to claw ourselves back into it at the moment. Got a bit wide from the racing line there. Ooh, but Tsunoda and Latifi may be fighting somewhere up the road, close to each other, within a second at least of each other. But hopefully if they do start fighting, we can start to try and look to get past them at some point in the future. Not the near future, by any means. But Ooh, I've taken it a bit better there. I actually stayed on track that time. Oh, I've done that so much better. I've learnt how to take that corner a bit better than I have been recently. But yeah, just coming in within 2 seconds now. Nicholas Latifi, a bit further behind than Tsunoda than he was not long ago. I'm losing a bit of time messing around there, but yeah, Nicholas Latifi still not far away from Tsunoda by any means, but smashing into the walls isn't going to do me any favours. However, no damage, just a bit of lost time and turned in a bit late there. It's not going to be too harmful. All I need to try and do is get in within the DRS range of Nicholas Latifi, and it will really, really help me pull back from the back of the grid. He's getting back within 1 second, so... Oh, but Albon's pit for the hards now.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.3 seconds.
Oh. So I'm ahead of Albon. He's on cold hards, I'm on, well, not fresher, but worn in hards. So it's good to know that his pace on the mediums wasn't good, but that doesn't mean others aren't, and I'm really not taking these corners very well at all. I need to shut up and concentrate. I need to shut up and concentrate, basically, because I am talking too much and losing concentration and just butchering all the corners, basically. But yeah, Albon on the hards. Maybe a bit of an odd decision to come in for the hards. Might have been better to go on the mediums, but to be fair, by the looks of it, his pace on the mediums wasn't all that good. As he is now behind us, but we are in front of Alexander's Williams, but not too far behind Nicholas Latifi's Williams. Coming up to the final hairpin. Roughly 1.5 and 2 seconds the gap. A bit further. Well, Alex Albon is clawing that gap closed. Don't know, must just got an insane exit, must surely. Don't know how else he would have clawed that back on the straight, apart from maybe the Williams is slightly better in a straight line than our Aston Martin, but in future races I will be hoping for that to change. We've carried a bit more pace through there. But we are trying to claw in on Nicholas Latifi. He's trying to get close to Tsunoda, I'm trying to get close to him. Clearly the mediums from the start was not the way to go, by the looks of things. Ooh, but I'm within his DRS now. I'm within 1 second, but I need to be within 1 second at the DRS detection point, which isn't here, and that's not going to help me at all. But I am going to get DRS. I am still going to be able to get the DRS on Nicholas Latifi, hopefully pull me back in a bit. Magnussen on the hards as well, I've just realised. Kevin Magnussen, did he start on mediums? Did he start on softs? I'm not too sure, but he is a lot further up. He's fighting with Sebastian Vettel up the road, but yes, clawing this gap shut on the straights as much as we can because of the DRS.
Okay, the car behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap starting to form.
He's gonna maybe get a bit of a better exit on that one. Well, that's not great for me. Didn't take that corner too well. Just gotta focus up behind Nicholas Latifi. We're gonna get a brilliant run. Maybe a bit of contact, but we're going to go down the inside on the hairpin. We're going to get past him.
Nice work, mate. That brings you
Mark's
up to
happy with that one. So am I. Just got to keep up the pace, but now we don't have DRS on the straights, and Nicholas Latifi does. So I've got to try and claw the gap shut to Yuki Tsunoda to try and almost protect us from Nicholas Latifi. Wasn't the best line through there. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda really getting away from that one tiny mistake. And I always seem to make that same mistake on that corner.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Oh god, I didn't even realise how close we were to the end. 2 more laps left of this Grand Prix.
0.0 seconds.
We need to try and hold on to this 18th place. Tsunoda, Vettel's been passed by Magnussen again up the road, I've just noticed, in the top left. But we need to try and get within Tsunoda's DRS to just basically protect us from Nicholas Latifi. Not gone too well through there, but it's been worse. We just need to stop losing the time and try and gain it back. This is where I made the move on Latifi 1 lap ago, but need to try and keep up that pace. Closing in on Yuki slightly. We just need to keep it up, as that's not going to do us many favours, not getting too much speed through there. I need to remember where we are on the circuit though, because I always make the same mistake here. So we're going to turn in that bit earlier. This is going to help, I think. Not a whole bunch, but I tried to remember where I was at least. Yeah, we always lose time there. We always gain so much on the rest of the track, but then we lose it there, and on the straights as well. Verstappen coming in for the softs. Has he had damage? What's gone on there? Max Verstappen
Final lap of the race.
on the final lap of the race. Why has he pit? Was it damage? I'm not too sure, but it's for the softs. He's going to come out behind me, roughly 2 seconds behind me. I'm sure he'll be trying to get past me as soon as he can, but with 1 lap left, bumped up an extra position. That's not going to help too much. Bumped up an extra position. Sadly not into the points, but P17.
Okay, so the car behind's just come in. They're now on a soft tyre.
What
Soft
has
tyre on the car
happened
behind.
to Max Verstappen? I really would like to know what happened to Verstappen there on the last lap of the Grand Prix. He has to pit for softs. Was it an error from the team? That's not going to help. A bit of front right wing damage on the last lap. Max Verstappen closing in rapidly.
Okay, gap to the car ahead is 1.
Not really trying to fight him, but I would rather stay ahead of him than stay behind him. But it's a green sector 2 coming in to the final hairpin. As long as you get a decent exit, we should be okay. But that Red Bull is intimidating, seeing that behind you. Oh, he's going to be right up close. Going to have to try and defend maybe. He's not really going to get past too much. He's maybe going to go to the outside. Oh, and I just keep my nose in front. In P17, how close was that? Valtteri Bottas getting driver of the day, but oh my word, that was an interesting race towards the end.
A sterling effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again. So let's review the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
That's got to be the Flying Finn. Wait, how many Flying Fins have we had now? Anyway, I'm talking about Bottas this time. Just great raw speed. And a good job in traffic as well.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, that was interesting towards the end. Charles Leclerc getting on pole with a 1:34.78 as his best lap time. This is Carlos Sainz setting fastest lap. But, yeah. Checo Perez, the only Red Bull inside the top 10. So I would like to know what happens to the Dutchman who started on pole. Can we... does it say in here? Where is Max Verstappen? No, I wanna... What happened to Max Verstappen? He was on the softs, then he went to mediums, then back on softs. Any repairs? Max Verstappen? No. I'm not sure.